Hi, this is our first episode of Big Time Sports Fans. It is episode number 1. Like I said, Michael and I are on the show today. So I have a couple questions to start off for Michael. The first one is, how do you think NIL deals have affected the NCAA, and what conferences or teams do you think are most affected by it?
So, on the topic of NIL deals, I feel like it's definitely a great opportunity for college athletes to, make money off of being very well known. You think about the guys from Alabama who are really famous, they can't collect royalties from that. But through the NIL deals, they get good opportunities. But also, you kind of see with the big teams, they can just pay these nice five-star players to come play for them, and it keeps them dominant. So I feel like it's good for the players, but at the same time, like teams can take advantage of it.
Yeah, I definitely see that. There's kind of like a two-edged sword to it. The next question is, which sports do you think are most affected by NIL deals?
100% football. Football is just one of the most popular sports for college in general that people watch, and that's where the players get the big bucks. They go off to the NFL if they're going in the big leagues anyway.
Yeah. So the next question is, do you think NIL deals are more beneficial or hurting college sports more?
I mean, as a college athlete myself, I love to see the college athletes getting the money, so I'm
Yeah.
all for NIL deals, I'll tell you that.
Okay. So also, based off of those answers, like, do you think, like, how far do you think, like, where do you think the kind of fine line is of, making like college athletes, like, I get maybe like giving them some money, but also like, not kind of swaying it too far that it's almost like making that some players and like huge programs can make as much as like professional sports and athletes.
Well, I feel like there's definitely like a fine line where you're a professional, you're making a lot of money, and you're a college athlete just getting a little bit for your talents. And if you cross that line and you got college kids making more than the pros, then you're starting to delve into a world where it might start to be an issue. But I feel like we're not at that point right now.
Okay, yeah, because like just in some ways, I feel like just some of the like top paid college athletes that like in some ways it's kind of swaying like almost like to the point like the ones that are moving on to professional sports, then they kind of I feel like when they get to professional sports, then they just kind of feel like kind of annoyed and stuff just because the pay then like as you start out in like professional, it's a lot lower than what they're making in NIL deals. Um, so then next, I wanted to kind of dive into like college football. So like, what do you think are the who do you think are the best like kind of SEC football teams now?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not good. Is Georgia an SEC?
Yes.
I'm a big Georgia guy because the college football, the game. I do that. I do like a file. It's like a franchise mode, and I play as Georgia.
Nice.
I love watching Georgia on the screen though, and so Nate Frazier, that running back, speedy. I'll tell you, he's a quick guy. But I would say, yeah, Georgia's probably my number one SEC.
Okay. And where do you think Vanderbilt's going to go now with Pavia as the quarterback? I mean, they're definitely a team that's kind of moving up in the rankings for the SEC. And I know a lot of people might think that they're just kind of like a bottom level SEC school, maybe like a South Carolina or right now like with the way Clemson's playing. But where do you vision that Vanderbilt can go? Do you think they can make it to like the college football playoff this year?
So when you mentioned Vanderbilt, the first thing I thought of was the woman kicker they had recently. That was the last thing I've heard
Okay.
about Vanderbilt. But I always love to see the small guys win. So
Yeah.
to see them make the playoffs, that would be pretty cool to see. But again, when you're in the SEC, there's a lot of competition there. So they really just got to be a focused team and see what they do.
Yeah. What do you think about like Clemson, like with their 1-2 start? I mean, they lost to Syracuse. Syracuse is kind of this becoming like a pretty solid football franchise. I feel like the last couple of years, like they're at least over 500. So for them, I feel like that's pretty solid. So what do you kind of make of that?
I'll tell you about Clemson Syracuse. I saw that quarterback. He was doing good and he got hurt. My friend was telling me, he was like, oh, Syracuse isn't going to do anything against Clemson. And then watching that game, that was a great upset to see. And I feel like Syracuse could truly build a run. Even if they lost their quarterback, I know that's a big thing. But I think they could build a run if the team just builds around it and keeps pushing this momentum.
Yeah. And then next with like Alabama this year, like where do you see vision them kind of where do you think they can get to by the end of the season? I mean, I know they're definitely not as good as they used to be with Nick Saban. I feel like a lot of that is just kind of like his coaching style, and he wanted players just to be the best versions of themselves and kind of be the best person like on and off the field. So what do you think? Like, do you think it's the coaching staff, or do you think it's more just like other variables, kind of with Alabama kind of slipping a little bit in the SEC?
So I feel like Saban, no Saban. Bama's gonna Bama.
Yeah,
Everyone knows Alabama's gonna be one of those dominant teams, and even though they're slipping, I feel like they'll always have the players, they'll always have the staff, and they'll be able to recover. I mean, they'll be a strong team forever. It's Alabama. Everyone wants to go there.
yeah. So what? Who do you think the best team? Like, who do you think are kind of the top four teams? By the end of the season with college football, who do you think are like those teams that are just gonna be the hardest to beat? I mean, I see Miami's kind of seems like they're stepping up a little bit. I mean, they're in the ACC, but just like who do you think is gonna be there by the end of the year to beat?
Just those top four guys. Like, what do we think the best teams are gonna be?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I'm gonna throw Georgia up there. I like my Georgia. I'm gonna agree with you with the Canes. I think Miami will be up there. Um, you know what? Give me USC. I'm gonna
Okay.
sneak in USC over there. And for the fourth, let's go Texas. Classic. I feel like they'll do good as they always do.
Yeah. And then with like teams like Ole Miss and Oklahoma, I believe they're both off to like a 3-0 start. How do you think they're gonna do by the end of the year? Because I feel like Ole Miss with uh Dart last year, I think they were like 10-2. I think they had a pretty solid go at it for the regular season, but then after that, like they didn't really make much of it. So what do you think about Oklahoma and Ole Miss?
I'll tell you, it's real easy for a team to start off hot and think they got everything going,
Yeah.
but then it's real quick. That downfall can be quicker than you think.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being with me today, and
Of course.
hope to see you all in the next CM 102 podcast. Thank you all for watching.